Life is Strange is one of my all-time favorite series. I remember playing the free demo on the Xbox store years ago and instantly falling in love with Max, Chloe, and the town of Arcadia Bay. And with Life is Strange Double Exposure coming out this fall, that now is the best time for me to make this video. It's one I've been cooking up for a while, one that I've thought of for a while, and with that announcement it kind of kicked me into gear. So today we're going to be talking about the cut content from Life is Strange. I'm going to interject right here before I actually get started. I know that there is a heap of cut content from this game, from this whole series, mainly this first one due to budget cuts, and there were a lot of dropped storylines. I'm going to be focusing on things that we know for certain were cut, things that have leftover traces within the game itself. However, if you guys want a full video going into what was lost due to these budget cuts, please let me know because I'd be happy to do it. There is so much, but for now we're just focusing on some of the more concrete stuff. So, starting off small, the character Brooke, her name was originally going to be Haley, and we know this because in one of the animation files for her, when she's playing with the drone, her name is listed as Haley, not Brooke. This is something that had to have been dropped very, very early on. I mean, before they recorded dialogue. It's just funny how that kind of slipped through the cracks there. In the scene where Max meets up with Warren and Nathan shows up, starts trying to confront Max over what she may have seen in the bathroom, and then Chloe shows up and rescues Max. Initially, you were going to have a choice between staying with Warren or going with Chloe. And this is one that I've always felt like has been there, even though I had no proof, because I don't know, it's just the animation felt like something where at any moment it was going to pause and you'd look between, you know, Warren on the ground and Chloe in the truck. It felt natural. So this one's kind of cool that it's confirmed. Especially, this is more conjecture, but it does feel like there was meant to be more content with Warren. However, that's just me, you know, sticking my 2 cents. At some point in the game's development, Alyssa's hair was originally blue. This can be seen in her concept art in the limited edition of the game, as well as in one of the photos that David takes of Kate. So you can see it in his list of files. And you can see she's in the girls' dorm, and you see Alyssa walking into a different room, and her hair is blue in that shot. So in episode 3, when Chloe drops Max off at the back at Blackwell. So in episode 3, when Chloe drops Max back off at Blackwell, and Max then goes to her dorm and then uses the Polaroid of her and Chloe to go back in time and save William. Initially, there was going to be another conversation with Mr. Jefferson in between that. In the trailer, you can see Max walking through the campus, as well as you can see when you pull up to Blackwell. When you pull up to Blackwell, it appears like there's a lot more students there. It looks like the set dressing was already set for this conversation, because it's not just the typical 2D background assets that you would see in the background of most other areas you pass by.
Hey, you alright?
I just feel weird about what happened in the principal's office yesterday.
When you accused me of making Kate cry?
Yeah. I feel shitty about you not getting to do the Everyday Hero contest. Do you hate me now?
Honestly, Max, I was burned out on the contest. You think I'm a pretentious artist here? Imagine me in San Francisco. Still rooting for you, though.
So in episode 4, which is home to a lot of cut content, we have one that's rather infamous. In the trailer for the episode, you can hear Nathan say, "The storm is coming." I'll play this line right now.
The storm is coming! You're all gonna die!
This lends a lot of credence to an idea that some people have, that the Prescotts are somehow related to the storm or knew about the storm. There's a lot there that I can't unpack right now, but, you know. So there's some cut content involving a section with Mr. Jefferson's car, and 2 options that were ultimately cut, which were to call the police or kill Mr. Jefferson. So we know this because of these file names right here. So you see it says Jeff Carr, Jefferson, call police, or Jeff Carr, kill him. Basically saying that something involving his car, he was going to get arrested. There was a set piece involving that. We also have some cut dialogue like, so Max, what are you going to do? We should call the police, and let's kill this fucker. And I'm willing to bet that that's a line from Chloe.
Holy shit, are you serial? Grow up! If you have any feelings left, you should think about your actions.
Shaka bra.
What?
There's a whole myriad of cut animations. A lot of them I'm unable to find. However, if somebody could find links for that, I would really appreciate it. Feel free to put that in the comments. I'm going to read the list off of my phone because it's a lot of long file names. So for one, we have Beach Chloe Dead, and it shows Chloe rapidly moving backwards before being shot in the stomach and falling to the ground. The second one is named Beach Chloe Dead V2. It shows Chloe holding a gun and firing before getting shot and falling to the ground, similar to what happens when she's shot by Mr. Jefferson in the junkyard. The third one is named Chloe Dead V3, and it shows Chloe drawing a gun from behind her back and then being shot before she can aim. Chloe then falls to the ground. So clearly, whether this is an interaction with Frank, an alternative of the conversation going wrong with him, or some other interaction at the beach, it doesn't end too well for Chloe. Something really interesting that I found, and I didn't really know until recently, is that the original choice between saving Chloe or saving Arcadia Bay was originally a little different. Instead of Chloe dying after being shot by Nathan, she would end up in a coma in the hospital. This ending, this version of the ending, made it so far in development that the hospital room that Kate is in was originally made for Chloe, and we know this because of concept art showing Max visiting Chloe in the hospital. The same balloons are present. There's a lot of leftover assets from that build. Co-director Michael Koch explained in an interview, "It wasn't a third ending. It was when we were in the writing process. When you make the choice of sacrificing Chloe to save Arcadia Bay, we were hesitating between really killing Chloe like we did, and maybe leaving her in a coma to offer hope that she could still be alive. But ultimately, when we were writing, we thought it wasn't a good decision to go this way, because it would reduce the impact of your choice. So if you're making the choice of sacrificing Chloe, we shouldn't make a cop-out. We should go all the way to really offer an end." I personally like this choice. As much as I love Chloe, the ending and its impact and where they're taking the character of Max now with double exposure makes a lot more sense for Chloe's death to be very final instead of leaving that door open to her being alive. Now, there is a very fringe theory, somewhat related to Chloe ending up in the hospital. So there is another file within the game titled Hospital-Ending. It's been in there since episode 1. This has created this idea that it was possible for Max to intervene when Chloe was about to be shot, and she would ultimately end up in the hospital. And it would simultaneously save Arcadia Bay and Chloe while Max sacrifices herself. I don't think so, especially considering the quote from the game director saying there was no third ending. Although this idea has inspired a lot of fan fictions, so the fan base seems to really like it. So in episode 5, when David rescues Max from Mr. Jefferson's darkroom, you were going to go to the hospital. David would take you there, and then you would have to escape in order to make it to Warren, in order to get to that photo and start that whole train wreck of time travel. This was ultimately cut due to another quote from Michael Koch saying they scrapped this scene because it didn't add much to the story, and they preferred to focus their energy on more dialogue and time between Max and Chloe, which ultimately makes more sense, until you think about how much time is wasted with Max running around in mazes and impromptu stealth sections while she's losing her mind in the time void. But to each their own. So I know this video was fairly short. I know many of you hardcore fans are going to be asking about the dropped storylines and a lot of the other things that never made it past the drawing board in terms of the game's story. And like I said at the beginning, this is really just to look at the concrete cut content, the stuff we know was cut because we have game files, we have animations to look at and sort of prove that it's legit. If you guys would like to see a video where I take a deeper dive into the production of the game as well as its budget issues and a lot of the dropped and lost storylines, I would be more than happy to. But you guys just gotta let me know. But I really enjoyed researching this video. I enjoyed recording this video. I've been replaying all the games because I'm so excited for Double Exposure. So yeah, if you guys would like to see a deeper dive into the story of the game, please let me know. I would love to. Thank you so much for watching this video. I really appreciate it, and I hope you guys enjoy.